Hey, welcome. Let's talk about something that's probably one of the most frustrating parts of being human. And that's the massive gap between knowing what you should do and then actually doing it. Today, we're going to dive into the real architecture of how to make change that actually sticks. I mean, this question can drive you absolutely nuts, right? You've read the book, you've watched the video, you get the concept, the insight is there. You know you should be exercising more. You know you should delegate that task. And yet, you're stuck in the same old loop. This is the exact gap we're going to explore. So here's the thing. The reason we get so stuck is that we mistake the very first step for the entire journey. Real, deep transformation, it doesn't happen in one big leap of understanding. No, it unfolds across three really distinct and totally crucial layers. And here they are. Step 1, insight. Step 2, integration. And step 3, conditioning. Now, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a real framework for moving from just knowing better to actually being better. And then, finally, to doing better. Let's break down exactly what each of these means. First up, you've got insight. This is that classic aha moment, that flash of clarity where a new idea just clicks and it all makes sense. It feels amazing, it's totally essential, but here is the trap. We think the work is done. But you have to remember, insight only creates potential. It does not create permanence. Okay, next up is integration. And honestly, this is where the real magic happens. This is the moment that aha insight travels from your logical brain and sinks deep down into your actual identity. Your core beliefs start to shift. All of a sudden, that new behavior doesn't feel forced anymore. It feels like you. You're not trying to be different. You just are. And finally, there's conditioning. Think of this as the reinforcement phase. Once that new identity is integrated, this is how you lock it in. You use repetition, you design your environment to support it, you build systems that make it the default. See, conditioning doesn't create the change, it preserves it. It makes your new way of being totally automatic. I love this quote. It just sums up the whole process so perfectly. Insight just opens the door. Integration is what changes the person who's walking through it. And conditioning, that's what bolts the door open so you can't go back. Let's look at this side by side because it makes it super clear. On the left, with just insight, change is informational. It's just data. It's potential. You know the right answer. But on the right, with integration, change is now identity-based. It's real. You are different. It's a difference between just having a map of a new city and actually living there. So, if integration is the key to everything, why is it so ridiculously hard to do? Well, that brings us to the biggest hidden barrier to change. And it's this quiet battle between what we know is the right answer and what our gut tells us is the real answer. It all starts out simple enough, right? Your logical, intellectual brain knows exactly what to do. You could probably teach a class on it. I should be more confident. I need to stop procrastinating. The right answer is obvious. But then, underneath that shiny, logical right answer, there's usually a much quieter, kind of messy, real answer. It's a feeling. It's a doubt. It's a fear. It's the little voice that whispers, yeah, but what if I try to be confident and they all think I'm a fraud? And this is the whole game, right here. We don't act based on the logical answer we tell ourselves. We act based on that suppressed, emotional, real one. That ignored doubt, that's what's really in the driver's seat every single time. So why does this happen? Well, for one, most of us are trained from a young age to trust logic over emotion. If a feeling doesn't seem rational, we just push it away. But our behavior doesn't follow our stated belief, it follows our felt belief. And when you try to suppress something like that, it doesn't just disappear. It goes underground and it sabotages you. This quote just nails it. Your true beliefs aren't what you say you believe. They're what you do automatically when you think no one's looking. That's your real answer in action. Okay, so that's the theory. Let's make this super concrete. How does this actually show up in the real world? We're going to look at a classic professional struggle, making that shift from being a hands-on operator to a systems thinking owner. So you have the operator, right? They're always in the weeds, putting out fires, making every single decision. The whole business depends on them. It's all high effort. But the owner, they focus on high leverage. They build systems. They focus on the final outcome. And the business depends on the process, not on them being there 24/7. So how do you make that jump? You have to condition yourself to think like an owner. And here's a simple framework for that. First, you trash anything that doesn't actually matter. Just get rid of it. Second, you transfer any task someone else can do 80% as well as you. And third, you trim the complexity of everything that's left. This isn't just about time management. It's about conditioning a whole new identity. And this really gets to the core of the identity shift. The insight is knowing you should delegate, but the operator's real belief, their secret fear, is that no one can do it as well as them. So they protect quality above all else. But the owner has truly integrated a new belief that their main job is to protect their time and energy, their leverage. And that really brings us to the final big idea here. So often we think the answer is more discipline, more willpower, just trying harder. But what if real, lasting change isn't about more force? What if it's about creating alignment? What if it's about resolving that conflict between the right answer and the real answer? It's about having fewer internal contradictions. And when you do that, the change doesn't just happen, it becomes inevitable.